morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Obviously, you're looking at this right now. I don't even need to do my usual intro. This is what we're here to talk about, plus a couple other things. I wake up this morning, this is in my email. I just went, oh my God, and which continued exponentially until my throat exploded. But holy crap, I can't even believe it. Look at this. This is glorious. The Wand Company, the maker of the phaser replica of all time, is doing a communicator, a Bluetooth communicator based off the Alpha communicator. Holy crap. I am beyond ecstatic. But I thought today we'd talk about it a little bit and see get some theories about what's going on, some questions, compare it to some of the previous releases for what we know so far, and then talk about a couple other new prop releases that are coming out. So let's check it out. So this is the listing on Starchwreck.com. You can pre-order it. I'm probably going to wait until they have one of the sales going on. They do have free shipping right now, but it seems like they have a 20 or a 15 and occasionally a 30, I think, every now and then. So it's always good to be mindful of your coupons, but for 150 bucks, not horrible, not horrible. That's the same price as the phaser. I mean, this looks glorious, and apparently this image isn't even the current one. They've updated even since then. Even the jewels look a little odd, but maybe that's just the reflection. They look round, but that could just be the facets of them and the pixelation, but apparently it looks even better. So my first question, in reading the description, let's check out the description, or not. I guess we're going to look at bestsellers. Let's go back. There we go. This is the first time I've tried this live streaming, or not live streaming, or recording off the screen, so we'll see how much of a disaster it turns into. It could be comical or just boring, but we'll find out. Anyway, so we've got 50 years, Star Trek Zone series, visionary philosophy, blah, blah, blah. The Wand Company Star Trek Original Series Communicator is the most accurate replica ever made, designed using the first ever structured 3D light scans taken of the Alpha Hero prop, crammed full of advanced technology, bringing new levels of action and immersion for Star Trek fans of all ages. First fully working wireless communicator, Bluetooth handset for pairing with Bluetooth-enabled cell phones, made in response to countless requests from Star Trek fans all over the world, constructed from pressed metal, die-cast metal, machined aluminum, and textured ABS to recreate the original Hero prop. Magnetic stand with metal base and multicolored LED charge status illumination, built-in lithium polymer battery with wireless charging, just placed on the stand to automatically charge the power cell, high-quality molded polyurethane foam-lined transit case, high-quality speaker for great hands-free calls and even playing music and streaming and audio, high-quality MEMS microphone for crystal clear call quality. There's a hard one to say. Will delight collectors, blah, 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 sounds and things from Star Trek. This, even you could even get rid out of cosplayers. Just dream come true is the key statement with this, because I took my John Long communicator and I tried to put a Bluetooth set in it, and it worked, but I didn't know how to make the speaker actually do speaker mode. It was just like still on ear mode, so basically you had to put it up to your ear like it was, you know, a phone instead of it projecting. So I hadn't figured that out yet, but and that it kind of died after that. It's in one of my previous videos if you want to go check it out. Maybe I'll pull up a screen cap or something for this, but dream come true. How fitting. I mean, it looks fantastic. Just based off the Alpha, I mean, this is obviously a digital render, but the Kydex, quote, Kydex looks great. The antenna looks great. Let's go back to this other picture. Nope, there we go. The panel looks great, the moire, everything. Even this from this first render, it's outstanding, and it's just like the wand with the phaser. They have that cool base, and it has that cool non-plug-in charging. I would have accepted a hold down here that had the stopwatch thing, but that's too prop hipster for the mass audiences, so they'd never do that. So it's kind of cool that they can do the wireless charging thing. Now, my big question that you might notice that wasn't stated in any of this was they didn't talk about the moire. So, which is interesting, because that seems like something that would be noted. Now, these are my theories on why that is. A, it wasn't mentioned. B, they're still working on it. C, they don't know if they're going to include it or not, because they haven't got, I don't know, they're trying to work out the motor, if it's going to be a motor or what. The ultimate thing would be an LCD screen that would show it, but then be able to do the different communicator patterns. I think that'd be really cool. So you could do the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, all the different cool moires, and then they could come up with some others. That would be interesting. And then if you were going to do that, at that point you'd have multicolored jewels, or the LEDs could change color, and then you could have, you know, a pure kappa communicator, a pure gamma, depending on whatever setting it was. That's a little too much out there. I don't think they do that, but it'll definitely be interesting to see what they do as far as the moire. If they don't include a moving moire, I can pretty much guarantee I'm gonna either find out a way to swap out the moires, or just put one of the static ones over it, just because if it's going to have this moire, it should spin. But if it's going to be static, you might as well have one of the other moires, just for nitpicky jerk accuracy-ness, I think. So that'll be interesting to see what they do, especially with the jewels. It looks like they're colored in this, and I assume they'll have LEDs behind them. What else we got here? I can't really tell what's going on with the mic grill. That'll also be an interesting one to see how they do that, if they replicate the diamond pattern exactly, or as far as they can with, you know, regards to 3D scanning and all that stuff. So that'll be very interesting. One of my questions on that. Another question is, are they going to have screws on the back, like the original, the 4 screw holes? And in fact, since we are talking about that, let's look at a couple others right now. So here I brought out some of the previous Communicator releases. We'll start, well, modern ones. I don't have any of the Migo things or anything like that, but of course you got your Playmates that came out in the 90s. This is awkward. Let's see if I can do this correctly. But, you know, you can find these still, and they were fun for the time, and they're great toys. I'll give them that. I replaced this moire with fun, goofy toy sound effects. And the bodies are themselves aren't horrible. This is the voice recorder one, by the way, which doesn't have the buttons sticking out of the side, which is interesting. I know somebody a while back did a run of new lids for these, and I should have picked it up. And couple guys made some cool, like, animated series communicators out of these, that with brass parts. I did one that was still this lid that I just bondoed and painted the stuff, but somebody actually did it all in brass, and it looked so cool, so cool. But that's those, and of course they got the goofy belt clip. Then you've got your Master Replicas, also known as the Starchwreck experience, because I used to have a Master Replicas, but I traded it for a Boomerang, Master Replicas Boomerang phaser. But we have one of the children of the Master Replicas, which is the Starchwreck experience one, which sounds like it has the flu or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but I remember this was the first really nice communicator prop I had as a kid, and it was just so much fun, so much fun. The moire spun, it chirped, it did all these fun, goofy things, but of course you have the fat bottomness, and then from the Master Rep to this, which carried over into, of course, the Diamond Select, which, there we go. I think this is one I got on discount on Amazon because of, obviously, exactly what it does. And I remember when I got my first one of these, is it going to work or what? I don't know what is going on with that motor. It is so slow, but it actually looks kind of cool. The first one I got with the metal lids, which were far superior, I was ecstatic because it had all the different sound effects, and alright, we're done with you. It's a shame that they had to go to the plastic lids. This is a plastic lid too. Alright, what are you doing there? There we go. This one I replaced. Yeah. All right, there we go. This one I replaced the grill and the jewels with, or the LEDs with the jewels, and they kind of still glow through, which is interesting. But they are the Swarovski crystal or whatever knockoff ones I found at Thompson's Hobbies. That and then I put, instead of these being the little racing car hubs, these are actually washers, so they have a clear or an open center, so that way they can still light up, which is neat. I don't know if that's gonna there it goes. Cool. So yeah, also fun toy replicas. Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, sure, why not? Anyway, that's those. We're going to talk, let's talk, of course, the lovely Roddenberry replicas, which are cast off the Trials and Tribulations communicators, which are great and fun. And then have the multiple chirp. I don't know if you've heard any of that. I have no idea. I don't have the sound on, because otherwise I just hear myself talking and it's really awkward. But we know all those. So this one, here's an alpha. Now this is theoretically what the Wand Company version is 3D scanned off of. Well, within reason. This one, the body of this is cast off the original alpha, so they should be very similar in size and shape and all that. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, here's one of what I was talking about the grid pattern. It'll be, like I said, it'll be so interesting to see how they try to replicate this, if they get it exactly right, or if they have to dumb it down or make it manufacturable, because the real original stuff of this is off old transistor radios, so that'll be very interesting to see. And here's a Star Trek 3 communicator, because Star Trek 3 communicator? Come on, Diamond Select, make this. So communicators, but I just perceive that they will be all out-trumped by this new Wand new Wand Company communicator. I mean, nothing's like a real replica that's like physically cast off of by some guy, and that's always pretty fun. But this thing, it's going to be pretty cool. So this is one of my favorite props that I have, just because it's cast off that original. But so is this, apparently 3D scanned from it. So, and has much more functionality. This does have a sound card in it, but the batteries are dead. And I didn't bring my Gamma, my John Long Gamma, to compare either for some reason. But yes, let's go back and look at this a little bit more. That's not the right one. Where's the thing? Ah, that's it. So back over here, here's another article that has another render. I don't know if we can zoom in on that. But again, also looks pretty good. Oh, the jewels look a bit better in that one. The grid looks pretty good too in this one. Have any other pictures? Doesn't look like it. That's that guy. So yeah, very excited. I'm very interested to see how this all progresses. So hopefully we will be seeing some teaser images. Apparently they're going to have it available to look at, the first prototype, at Comic-Con. So that'll be fun to soak up all the delicious pre-images and stuff like that. But that's our wand. Speaking of wand, let's transition is the word I was looking for, into another wand thing. That is, of course, the wand phaser. And if you haven't seen the review, I have a full, complete review of this guy on the channel, but I just thought I'd show off these guys. I don't think I did in another video. I might have, but we'll add it in here. And then we've got a couple more new product things to discuss. TOS phaser, remote, glorious, and take it out. These are made by SD Studios, and the cool thing about these is they're thicker than the original Wand Company version, but they've also retained the magnetness, which is awesome, but they're the full size, so they're fully interchangeable. You can get that guy in there. You can screw it in, which is pretty awesome. And then we've got a black version and a white version. If you really wanted to go out and convert all this, I was going to convert one. I just haven't got around to it. But those are pretty fun. You might be able to still get some of these on eBay, but they're out there, and it's pretty epic, I think, just to be able to switch out the power packs. That's my ultimate fantasy, is to have a version of every, a black and white, a Trials and Tribulations, things like that, and have them to be able to switch out, and you could, plug a gray one into a black body with a gray P1, whatever, which would be kind of interesting. So that's what we got on that guy. In other big releases, I haven't got it yet, but this will substitute the new Diamond Select Starchwreck 3 phaser, which ironically works very similar to this one, although my second version that I built for somebody actually functions almost exactly like it, except the button isn't over here, it's just all on the top there. But this was a Diamond Select that had been modified to... Or no, the electronics are Diamond Select, and I put them in this Starchwreck 3 phaser. But the new one looks pretty good. I noticed there's some kind of unsightly screw holes on it, and once I get it in, I'll do a review on it and everything. But the sounds are the only thing that bug me about it, just because with the Wrath of Khan phaser, they kind of took liberties, and each one kind of had its own fun uniqueness. This one seems like it's one sound and then three of the same sound, slightly louder or slightly toned differently, which is ironic because I read somewhere that they said they had limited material to work from, and with the Wrath of Khan phaser, that only shot once, or, in Wrath of Khan ever, and you never see it shoot ever again that I can recall. This thing appears again in different forms. You see it in the final mission with the wrap on it. You see it in Deep Space Nine when Dr. Bashir gets taken over by the alien, and it's just the most horrid acting ever, first season. But when they take over that freighter, they're using these guys, and it fires a weird pink beam. So I was thinking, why don't you just use those sound effects and supplement it? And I know it's supposed to be from just the Star Trek 3 sounds, but why not? And then they'd be different. And the overload sounds like some 80s toy. It's very strange. Very, very strange choices on that, but it's still fun. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the sound I captured from the movie, which kind of is what they ended up using for theirs, so... whatever. It's still fun. I'm going to enjoy it and probably tear some apart and redo them and then do a final mission with the wrap and everything and stuff like that, but that's that guy. One other fun, awesome release or teaser that I'm very excited about is Anovos doing some next-gen stuff. This is, of course, the Master Replicas version, which is hard to beat. It's a pretty epic phaser, being all metal, rubber grip, bunch of different sounds, beautiful lighting features. The emitter was supposed to apparently be a lot more fancy, but they didn't end up doing that. And just for fun, here's a couple more boomerangs, and I want to build another one. A just absolutely perfect, looks exactly like it walked off the set. Shave these down and add them on after, just like the originals. Perfect color, perfect everything. It's an OCD thing that I just have to have a perfect version. That and the Mark 9 tricorder, like, walked off the set. If I could get Federation surplus ones, I'd be perfectly happy, but those aren't around anymore, sadly. Very, very, very sadly. But the only thing we've seen so far is, hey, I'm on the internet, let's look it up. You can enjoy this while I find it on the World Wide Web. 16 glorious settings. Anovos. I only have, well, I guess I have two Anovos things. I've got the Enterprise jacket, and I've got a JJ uniform, which is pretty sweet. Gamba Gamba Gom. Let's see. Alright, there we go. So the only thing we have seen so far is this. And looks, I mean, it's teasing that they're going to light up, so this should be very interesting to see what they do. Now, this looks like a Roddenberry replica just because of the paint and everything, and, you know, we're used to that quality. So the question is, are they manufacturing these in China? Are they doing the HMS thing where they're casting them right out of the originals? You know, what's the deal? Are they doing build-ups? Are they doing kits? Are they all going to be electrified? Are they not? What's the deal on that? So very, very excited to hear about that. Probably going to be out of my budget, especially this thing. This is going to be $2,000. I'll bet you something like that, $1,500, at least $1,000. The phasers, $300 to $500, hopefully less, probably more. Who knows? We shall see. I'm hoping they'll do holsters too. All the uniforms have had, you know, things to put holsters on, so that'll be very interesting to see. So July 9th through the 12th, we'll find out in 2 more days. Very excited. Very, very excited. So that is about it. Let's go back to our communicator, just because communicators are communicatory and they're awesome. So that was our main thing here. I just had to express it to the world, how exciting it is, and my questions. It's going to be great regardless of whatever the thing is. I'm interested in this like non-plugging charging. I've seen that on a couple things, but I've never actually had anything that did that. So we'll see how long that battery lasts and all that stuff, and the moire and the grid and all that stuff, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I love the phaser they made, and I guarantee this is going to be awesome. Now, the question is, what are they going to do if they do a tricorder? That'll be interesting, to say the least. Are they going to do... So if we have a remote phaser and a Bluetooth communicator, what could the tricorder be? If you have your hypothesis, put it in the comments, and we shall analyze it maybe on the next show. Because I'm not sure. Could they do? There's that radio one some Japanese company did. There's a. They could probably do some kind of thing like that Mark I tricorder that actually has sensors in it. That every time I see them on eBay, they're over $500. I do need one. They look fun. Something that actually senses. So we shall see. Maybe we'll find out next year at this time what their next thing is. So. But yeah, that is that. If you want to see more of this wonderful, fun propness, check out Starchwreck Models and Props on Facebook. You can see I'm working on the good old NX refit again, which is always fun and terrifying at the same time. Also other fun things. And, of course, if you want, subscribe to the channel, see what else is going on. We're always working on fun, interesting props and models, like this little guy. This little Nakata particle pistol that looks awkward with the screw in it, but that's the easiest way to paint it since there's going to be a graphic over it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you with your communicators and beaming up.